Good morning, everyone. It is day one of the TBR Readathon, and I meant to get some reading done this morning over breakfast, but I was running late, and as you can see, I had a gig this morning. But now that I am here and in costume, I do have a couple of minutes before I have to go out. So I brought my book with me. I brought Magic Kingdom for Sale by Terry Brooks, just because I thought it was appropriate. And I have my Snickers cafe latte, and I am ready to go. Just got home from the library. I've got about an hour and a half until I have to start getting ready for my other job tonight. So I have fixed myself some lunch and I'm gonna try and get a solid chunk of the way through this book. I'm only at the very beginning now, but hopefully I can get closer to halfway so that I can get almost finished with it tonight. Good evening, everyone. It is day 2 of the TBR Takedown, and I am just now getting to read. I have about 160 pages left to read tonight, because I had to work all day and then I had some family stuff come up. So hopefully I'm just gonna be able to do nothing but read from here on out for the rest of the night. My goal is to finish Terry Brooks' Magic Kingdoms for Sale Sold tonight and possibly move on to the next one in my TBR pile. I'm still reading. I just finished a reading sprint, and to take a break I walked down to get the mail and I had a package, so I thought I would do a quick unboxing as part of my vlog today. Yay! Yes! Okay. This is volume 1 of Lumberjanes. It contains issues 1 through 4. And I started the series on issue 5, so I have never read the first 4, and I am super excited to read this. And now I'm going to get back to reading this because I still have 100 pages left to go. I'm back for just a minute. I forgot to look for the bookmark because this is from Book Depository. Look how gorgeous this bookmark is. It says it's number 14 of 20. It's by Kumi K. Stain from South Africa. So cute. Okay, for real, now back to reading. Good morning, everyone. It is day 3 of the TBR Takedown Readathon and day 1 of the 7 and 7 Readathon. I managed to finish Magic Kingdom for Sale Sold last night in the last reading sprint hosted by Leaning Lights, which means that this morning I finally get to start on some of my trade paperbacks. Good afternoon, everyone. It is day 5 of the TBR Takedown Readathon and day 3 of 7 and 7. I ended up skipping yesterday because I was in a little bit of a reading slump. I'd read so much on Monday that I just wasn't feeling it. I did manage to read in real life. It only took me about 30 minutes, so at least I didn't stop completely. But I used that time to finish some other things that I have been wanting to finish, so I finally finished watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I've been trying to finish for a decade. So that's good. Hello, everyone. It is about 10:30 at night, still on day 5 of the TBR Takedown and day 3 of 7 and 7, and I am finally in the mood to read again. I'm so excited. I tried to pick up that Anne McCaffrey Hearn book earlier, and it turns out it's a Goosebumps style choose your own adventure game, except it's a lot more complicated. It involves dice, and I just wasn't getting anywhere with it when I started to try and read it. The little bit I read was very interesting, but it's a book that I want to take my time with and not try to rush through with a readathon. So instead I have moved to A Sense of the Infinite by Hilary T. Smith, which of course came in my Book Riot box, and I can't wait to let you guys know what I think. Also, my mom made this really delicious cherry chocolate cake this evening, and I am finally getting to eat some because I was Skyping with a friend for a few hours, so I missed having it with dinner, and I can't think of a better thing to accompany reading a book late at night. Good morning, everyone. It is day 6 of the TBR Takedown Readathon and day 4 of the 7 and 7 Readathon. And I have been having so much trouble getting up in the morning for the past week, and I don't know what it is because I normally get out of bed before 8 and that's just fine for me, but I have been crawling out of bed at 10 a.m. lately, and that's not cool. So I'm hoping this morning I don't have to work until 4 o'clock, and so I brought A Sense of the Infinite and a glass of homemade lemonade outside, and I'm gonna alternate swimming when I get too hot and then when I've cooled down coming back to read for a while, and hopefully that will get me through until work and I will be back on track because I'm so behind because I've been sleeping in instead of getting up to read like was my plan. It's almost 2 o'clock and I finally just finished A Sense of the Infinite. And I still have like an hour and a half before I have to get ready for work, so this is really awesome. I really enjoyed this book. It took a while for me to get invested in it. I felt like it was a little bit slow at the start, but then once it got going, it really got going, and it dealt with some really hard-hitting topics. I'm sure I'll do a review of this one, so look for that up later. But it was a really lovely book, and it was an easy read too. I started it last night, finished it this afternoon. It probably only took me about between 6 and 7 hours of reading, maybe not even that. So a good one to pick up if you're looking for a quick read. My dog Willow's been keeping me company the whole time I've been out here as well, which has been entertaining. I took a small break after finishing up A Sense of the Infinite to get some Seattle things accomplished, but I have half an hour still left before work, so I changed my TBR a little bit and picked up The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. I've had this on my to-read list and bookshelf for over a year, actually for probably like 3 years now, and it's short, nice and easy to read, so hopefully I will get this done today either before work or after work. Got off of work an hour ago and I thought I was going to have so much time to read tonight. And I got home and got caught up in doing Seattle apartment things. So I was very ambitious this afternoon when I thought I would be able to finish The Invisible Man by before work especially, but definitely tonight. I'm going to try and get a little bit farther in. It's about 10 o'clock at night here and I may have an early morning tomorrow. But I know that because of the work I was doing on the Seattle apartment hunt tonight, if everything goes to plan, I will end tomorrow with an apartment. So I may not have a whole lot of time to read tomorrow. So I'm going to try to read as much as I can tonight. But I also really need sleep. I've been so tired. So wish me luck. Hello everyone. It is the final day of the TBR Takedown and day 5 of 7 and 7. It's almost 6 o'clock at night here and I have yet to read anything. But I did just pay the deposit on an apartment in Seattle. So now that stress is off my shoulders, I feel so much better about getting things done and getting some reading done before Gishwas starts tomorrow. I really didn't get a lot more read on The Invisible Man, but I'm going to try and read a little bit more tonight and possibly I'll finish it. We'll see.
Okay, so the last time that I filmed was the 31st of July. It was the last day of TBR Readathon and there were 2 more days to go in 7 and 7. It is now August 10th. I really don't have much of an excuse except that I do, because starting the 1st of August was Gishwas and it just ended 2 days ago. If you're unfamiliar with Gishwas, it stands for the greatest international scavenger hunt the world has ever seen. This year's list was crazy long, I was crazy busy, and I was super physically exhausted all week, and I don't know why. I got plenty of sleep, but just I didn't have any extra energy. So I am just now getting around to filming my wrap-up about the Readathons. I actually had filmed a TBR for Booktubeathon as well. Never had time to edit it and post it, which is probably a good thing because I ended up not participating because, again, Gishwas was really, really exhausting. And I had so much fun. Definitely recommend it to all of you, but I have just needed to really rest the past couple of days and recover from such a crazy couple of weeks. So in the end, I didn't end up reading anymore during the readathon, so which brings my grand total to 7 books, kind of, like 6.5 books. Because one of those books is a single issue of a comic, which is about 20 pages, and I almost don't want to count that because it seems like cheating. I did end up reading most of what was on my TBR. The only ones I didn't read are the Dragon Harper novel, which for obvious reasons because it was a game, not a book, and I didn't end up reading Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I still want to read that. It was actually in my TBR for Booktubeathon, so it'll probably just end up in my August TBR in general, but I didn't end up getting to it. Hello. The wind feels very good, but it's blowing the camera. I did read everything else on my TBR, however, which means I got through A Sense of the Infinite, In Real Life, Lumberjanes Volume 1, The Wicked and the Divine, Fandemonium, and Sea of Monsters and Magic Kingdom for Sale, all of which I thoroughly enjoyed. I am so excited, though, to get back in the swing of filming videos. I did just finish a Bibliobox unboxing that will probably go up later this week, and I also have a list of some others that I plan to film today and tomorrow, just so that they can start coming and getting uploaded again. When I finish with this one, I'm going to go and watch all of the YouTube videos that I have missed out on for the past 2 weeks because I haven't been online, and comment on everybody and check in on everybody and on Twitter and Instagram and just really try to get back in the flow of things because I miss it and I miss you guys so much. So that's all. I had a great time participating in this readathon. Thank you so much to all of the hosts. I'm sorry that my response is so late, but I cannot wait to participate again next year. I had so much fun, and it really did knock a huge chunk of my TBR off my TBR pile. So thank you for that. I will see you guys later this week.